Hello everyone and welcome to another video on this channel. I hope you all doing great and I hope you all had a great weekend. But if you didn't have a great weekend on FPL, don't worry, I'm in the same situation as you. I was average this week. I am 3 points below average, but I managed to go over 200 points, so I'm still in the top 1%. And this episode we will talk about the new transfers, the Isak situation. We will plan something for game week 4, and also we will analyze what happened in the game week 3 because we need to see what we learned from this game week. So let's get into it. This was my team. The average was 48, I'm 45, and I think this is a fair result because I didn't have much expectation. I didn't do any transfers, so this was a sacrifice week. Pickford, I mean, just 1 point, he conceded 2 goals. Van de Ven, this was a surprise for me, but I predicted that both teams would score. Manchester United switched Dorgu for Dalot, and I think they were weaker in defense. I have to be honest, with Arsenal, I think I was a bit unlucky because it was a 0-0 match. Caicedo didn't get any bonus points, but he played insane. Like, I think he was probably top 3 in that match. He had 23 defensive contributions. It's crazy. And this yellow card who got because a mistake that Enzo did. Wirtz, I mean, a lot of people are negative to Wirtz, but from Wirtz, Salah, Ekitike and Gakpo, he was the better player. In the first half, he was horrific, but in the second half, he had 2-3 key passes. Salah didn't manage to shot first time, so I think he played decent. Reijnders, obviously, it's a 5.5 million player. He cannot get 10 points every match. He's not the new Lionel Messi. Rodgers, again, Aston Villa, weak performance, but with the feature Rodgers has, it's very hard for me to sell. João Pedro, great match. Ekitike, very bad match against Arsenal in my opinion. He get completely pocketed, but Arsenal is the best team in defense in this league. And Haaland, which was my captain, that missed a lot of shots, so I could here it was also, in my opinion, unlucky. Haaland could get 2-3 goals in that game. He had the chances, but it is what it is. I'm happy with my captain decision again this week. My first choice was Haaland, second choice was João Pedro. Both were great. So let's move into the game analysis, and we have pictures here. Chelsea Fulham went as I predicted. Chelsea will win a 2 difference goal, but I have to be honest, in reality Fulham deserved more because that goal got cancelled, in my opinion, in a bad way. I think that was a valid goal, and you can take a look at King from Fulham because Fulham has 2 great next features. 4.5 is a cheap price. I think it's 4.5. Yes, King. Yeah, 4.5. So you can take a look at this player. Then Manchester United Burnley. I thought Manchester United could clean sheet this in the first half. In my opinion, it was in that direction, but they made some mistakes, and I think Dalot is the... I mean, it's hard to call because also Shaw and Euro made a little mistake at the first goal. But Manchester United won. Mbeumo was the correct choice between Mbeumo and Cunha. As I said, that they look weaker on the right side than on the left side. Walker did a decent game in my opinion, even though he had that fault that, in my opinion, could have been a free kick for Liverpool. Now Spurs Burnout completely dominated this match. I really think after this match that Semenyo could be a player that you can default by and let him into your team, even though they have not so great fixtures, but they played exceptionally well. Vicario was very great at the Spurs, and I still believe that Spurs has a great defense. They lost the match in the midfield, but they don't lost the match in the midfield with a weak team. This team is very, very good in the midfield. So, despite Spurs losing this game, I'm still optimistic for the next fixtures. So both teams, I like them. Sunderland, Brentford, I didn't watch this game. I predicted a draw between Sunderland and Brentford. Unfortunately for Brentford, Sunderland won, but I don't like these two teams, to be fair. Wolves, Everton. I think Everton is great going forward. If you want to pick Grealish, I mean, they have bad fixtures in my opinion. Liverpool will be in the game week 5, but Grealish looked great from an assist point of view. You have to take this into considerations because assists are only 3 points, and it is a lot of hype around him, but he played really well. But in defense, Everton looked horrific in my opinion. I don't like them. In all 3 matches, I think Everton looked bad in defense. Leeds, Newcastle. I like Newcastle from a defensive point of view, but going forward, they need a number 9. We need to see what is going on after the transfer window, but we need to see the new Newcastle in the attack. So for right now, I like Newcastle in defense, but I don't like in attack. Brighton, City. This was I think the upset of West Ham, but no, let's be honest. City, Brighton is a bigger upset. City started the game much better. I said here, if Foden will start, City will have an easy match, but because Foden didn't start, and it was Bernardo. Now, and Bernardo was Oscar Bob, because this is at the position where Foden can get in. Brighton managed to do a very good second half, and to be honest here, Haaland is one of the reasons City lost, because they could have ended the match in the first half. He had 4 or 5 chances, to be fair. One was clear 1v1, and City could finish the game in the first half. They didn't manage to. In the second half, they got dominated by Brighton, and I didn't like the defense of City. So for people who has Ed Nuri, I mean, Ed Nuri is nice because I saw when Marmoush play, he's going forward more on the left side, but let's be honest, he got totally pocketed in defense and in attack. Minteh was over him in both sides. Nottingham Forest, West Ham, another surprise, very big surprise, but the game wasn't so well in West Ham way. It was more an even game. Nottingham Forest were there, but they didn't manage to score. Would miss a big chance in my opinion. West Ham also had their chances. So to be fair, West Ham in attack is not that a bad team, to be fair. In defense, I still don't like them, even if it's a clean sheet. And with Nottingham, I have the same opinion. These goals West Ham scored were in the second half. They have a good first half. So I'm still optimistic with Nottingham Forest. Against Arsenal, of course, I don't think they will score, and I think they will concede. But after that, they have 2 easy match, so I still like Forest. And also, West Ham only for attack. Liverpool Arsenal, which was a stinker of a game. I almost fall asleep at this game, and people are only talking about Arsenal chicken out and playing very defensive lineup, but Liverpool, I think he I mean, I think they passed the ball to Alisson more than any other player in the first half. I mean, Liverpool, to be fair, Liverpool didn't press so much. Arsenal pressed more in the first half. I mean, I think both teams chickened out terrible. I wasn't expecting this, at least from Liverpool, because it's Anfield. Okay, I knew that Arsenal will kind of park the bus on Anfield because this is what Arsenal do. But to be fair, they pressed more in the first half. And if you look at match ratings and if you saw the game, the main players from Liverpool are the defenders. Szoboszlai man of the match, and Alisson, Van Dijk, Kerkez, also Konate completely pocket Gyökeres. So the defense line from Liverpool is kind of what outstands from them. And in attack, I think even though he didn't manage to assist or score, Wirtz had a better game than Ekitike, Gakpo and Salah. But of course, these two are top 3 teams right now with Chelsea. So I like Liverpool in attack, I like Liverpool in defense, but I like more in attack obviously. And Arsenal, I like more in defense. Basically the best attack and the best defense. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, could say that it is a surprise because I never thought Crystal Palace would manage to score that many goals. But it's not like Crystal Palace had so many chances, to be fair. I mean, like, the result could have been 1-0, 2-0. Also, Aston Villa had a chance with Watkins, who misses from a clear 1v1. But again, Aston Villa has great fixtures. I like more Crystal Palace, of course. And I think Crystal Palace, even if they will lose Gueye, Lacroix had an outstanding performance. He almost completely pocketed Watkins, but it was that situation where Watkins was 1v1 with the goalkeeper. So I like Crystal Palace in defense, of course. I like Munoz. I like Lacroix. From Arsenal, I like a lot again the defense, and maybe I like Declan Rice because Defcon also, he's on free kicks, he's on corners, and Arsenal are very dangerous with the corners. Also from Arsenal, obviously, Gabriel, Raya, I think they're great. From Liverpool, it is a tricky situation and you have to address this. So Isak is going to be the new striker, but I doubt they will play him from game week 4. Isak doesn't have minutes. He didn't train with Newcastle. It is a new player for Liverpool. I mean, Burnley fixture looks alright for a debut, but I highly doubt. And going in for Isak right now is kind of tricky because we don't know if he plays in the game week 4 or 5. So I would not rush out, and I would wait with Isak. Also, Liverpool, after these 2 matches, it doesn't have the greatest fixtures. So for me, both Ekitike and Isak are a wait right now. And even Gakpo, but I think Gakpo will be the main starter. And he also played 90 minutes against Arsenal. He wasn't subbed off. And he had a horrific game, let's be honest. So I would not buy any of Isak or Ekitike right now, even if they have with Burnley. The minutes for these two will not be so great. They can play 1/2 each in the next game. Everything can happen. So with Liverpool right now, if you have Salah, obviously you have to keep him because the next 2 features are great, but I will not buy any attackers from Liverpool unless I see what is the situation with Isak. Will Isak play striker and left wing Ekitike? Will Isak play striker and left wing Gakpo? How the subs will work? They are going to sub Isak for Ekitike. They are going to sub Gakpo for Ekitike. Also is Chiesa there. So with Liverpool, I will stay away even if the fixture is great. Now, with Nottingham Forest, I know they have Arsenal right now, so there is no reason to bring players from Nottingham Forest, but the next two matches after Arsenal are quite good, and I still like Wood in this team. And also, why not? You can pick the defenders, but I still think only Wood is the main option right now after what we saw with West Ham. From West Ham, only if you want to buy players from attack, probably, I don't know, Paqueta, which is, I know it's a midfielder, but it's more offensive one. I don't know. If you want to pick crazy options from West Ham attack, you can try it, but I'm not the biggest fan. From Manchester City has a tough fixtures. He's going to play against United and Arsenal. The only player which I would bring in from City is obviously Rangers, because he's a midfielder but he's playing more advanced. He's like a box crusher. And from Brighton, I don't know, Brighton, I think Minte played very well for Brighton. So this is kind of the player I would bring in if you want. But again, Brighton had 50-50 start. The game against City was good in the second half, but bad in the first half. They didn't start so well. From Newcastle, if you want to bring defenders, I think it's okay. They don't have the best fixtures, but they really showed a lot also against Liverpool. Let's remember, because Liverpool managed to score a goal from distance, and then the second goal, in my opinion, it was a bit unlucky for Liverpool. It wasn't a clear, it was a deflection before the pass from Gakpo to Ekitike, and they were in 10 men. They were managed to do well against Liverpool, which is the greatest attacking team. So yeah, from Newcastle, I like the defenders. From Leeds, in my opinion, I would stay away. I don't like too much Leeds. From Everton, I like the attack. I don't like the defense. I know I have Pickford in goal, but I have Vicario, the other goalkeeper, so I will play Vicario next games. From Wolves, again, I would stay away. They look better in attack right now, but Everton is not that good in defense. Sunderland obviously lost one of their strikers. He will go back to Chelsea. Again, I would basically stay away from these two teams. Again, Spurs and Bournemouth, at the attack from Bournemouth, it's okay. And Spurs has great fixtures. I mean, I think how the fixtures are looking, you kind of need to have 3 players from Spurs. Obviously, probably it's Vicario or one of defenders, Pedro Porro, best option. And I think in attack, Kudus and Johnsons are still options. It depends on what we'll see on the last hours of the transfer, but Xavi Simons probably will play in the middle. And the wingers will be again Kudus and Johnson. From United, I mean, they have bad fixtures. I would kind of stay away, but if you brought in Mbeumo, you can keep him. I think Mbeumo right now is the best option at Manchester United. Of course, second best option would have been Cunha, but he's injured, so you kind of need to get out if he will not play, obviously. From Burnley, I would not bring players, to be fair. I didn't like a lot what the performance was in the first half. Chelsea is the team that you should have 3 players. I mean, in my opinion, these are Chelsea and Spurs, because Chelsea did well in all the areas. Defending, they are fine. From defense, obviously, I like the keeper because the defense was solid, but the main men were obviously Cucurella, because he will be a starting player. Chalobah, he is great also at corners, and he is great also at long balls, so he may end up with some assists at some point. So these are the 2 defenders that I like from Chelsea. Both midfielders I like. Obviously Enzo is on penalties, we saw. He's on corners also. He's more advanced than Caicedo, but if you want the cheap midfielder, Caicedo, it's almost a guaranteed DEFCON. I mean, he managed to surpass 20 defcons last match, and in every match I think he got defcons. Also he got 1 goal, he's going to the box, and also his passing is great. So sometimes you may see a through ball from Caicedo, sometimes you will get an assist, but yeah, obviously Enzo is better. I think also Pedro Neto is a great option from Chelsea midfield if you want. Obviously the started winger, but I don't know if he will play the whole match. And in attack, obviously João Pedro is the main guy from this team. And from Fulham, I kinda like King, to be fair. I didn't spoke about Aston Villa and Crystal Palace, because we started with Liverpool and Arsenal. I think from Crystal Palace, the defense is still solid. Obviously, Munoz Lacroix are the main options in my opinion. The keeper was great, Henderson also. Obviously, Sarr, it's an option. Mateta, an option because he's on penalties. So Crystal Palace, a team that I like a lot. And Aston Villa, I will not bring players from Aston Villa, obviously, because they are not informed. But if you have players from Aston Villa, the fixture is way too good to sell them, in my opinion. So if you have Watkins, it's a clear keep. If you have Rodgers, in my opinion, it will be a keep. So this was the episode for today. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will see you next day after the transfer deadline to choose the best buys, the sells, and the keeps. So have a nice day.